years ago, we set up the Boma hotels in this complex. When we were busy recruiting staff, we had to poach them from many hotels around the city of Nairobi and some from around the country. And when we brought them here, those who came from Saroma hotels, from Serena, from Alliance, from I don't know what groups of hotels, putting them together and building a new culture wasn't very easy. So the then managing director of the hotel, a gentleman called Mugo Mariga, told me, old man, the best thing is, start up your own school to build your own culture if you want to have the Boma culture. Because we were talking about Boma. Boma in Swahili, shown is a homestead. Okay, it's an idea of a homestead, so we wanted to have a hotel in this environment. There's a big government parastatal called Bomas of Kenya, which that was set up over 60 years ago by the government of Kenya through the Ministry of Tourism to look at the Kenyan culture and the diversification of the same. So, but when we looked for a name, the name Boma came to us. And that's what we had. So setting up a culture wasn't easy. So he told me go set up a school. So as Tim said with a colleague of mine called Honorable Olum, we said, okay, we'll set up a school. We didn't know what we were getting into, and we had the idea to just go ahead and set it up. So we got a consultant who came around, gave us some ideas, and the next thing we told him go ahead and set up the school. So the rest is history. The school was set up within a few months.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. This is Tasty Wednesday kwenye nyumba yako kamili TV 47. This particular day, as you can see hapa hivi Boma in hotel, there's a whole cooking competition happening the last day for this particular cooking competition. Na tuko tunajua ni nani mshindi, but then right now I want to interact with one of the participants who has been in this particular cooking competition. She'll be telling us the whole experience. Mbona aliingia kwenye maneno ya mapishi 1212. So hii pande ingine nitakuwa natembea all this side as she introduces herself. The table has been set very, very nicely with the whole ambience right here. A very good morning to you. Tell us your name and why are you here? What are you doing here?
My name is Imani. I'm a participant in the Ladzaza Africa competition. I am competing in restaurant service. I got in because we did an internal competition in school to decide who was going to compete in the Kenyan competition. Yes.
Which school are you from?
I am representing Boma International Hospitality College. Yes.
When you think about Ladzaza Africa, what comes to your mind? What is that one meal that screams this is an African meal?
Okay, my favorite throughout the week, we had oxtail soup, and it came with some bread rolls. Personally, I love oxtail. We served it in some wooden bowls. So traditionally, you would drink your soup with your hand. You'd hold the bowl in your hands and sip it. So I think that's what I would think of.
Christmas is about some 70-something days to come. That is where we really tap into our African cuisines. When you're back at home, what screams African cuisine for you?
Okay, so I am both Kenyan and Botswana. But most of my days were spent in Botswana. So for me, during Christmas, we'd have siswa and morogo and beans. Yes. And in Kenya, we would have chapati, getheri. I'm also Kikuyu. Chapati, getheri. Yes, those are my favorites. And goat meat as well.
I'd love to taste a blend of both of them, a Kenyan and a Botswanan kind of a meal. But then I think Africans, we tend to really share a lot. Tell us about that, how to mix and match different African, because I mean for this one it's an African cuisine. For you, the experience of mix and matching African cuisines.
Yeah, so the whole concept of this whole competition is basically trying to break out of the colonialist way of doing things in hospitality and bring in our own African concepts. So for example, for me, for service yesterday, I did a table where I was able to incorporate a basket that looked in the shape of a nest. I put eggs in it. So the whole story behind my presentation was the nest represents communities in Africa, and the eggs represent the young ones. And I don't know if you've heard of the term that says, the proverb that says, it takes a village. Yes, so the community is supporting the eggs and growing the eggs, and the eggs represent kids and people growing up in the African community. So it just represents the love that African communities share and come together to support each other. So that was for yesterday's theme, that was yes.
If you're doing that during Easter, it could have slapped very well. Yeah, you're fairly young, looking at you, and for the young people out here, we have seemed to forget the importance of the African cuisines, the green vegetables, so hili zile mboga za kienyeji. We have seemingly forgotten about them. We go for junk food and fast food. As a young person, from both Kenya, Botswana, and you understand the importance of African cuisines. What will you tell young people out here?
I think as I grow up, I'm realizing how important keeping culture is. And I'm so glad to be a part of this competition because it helps us basically sustain our way of life, our African way of life. Even though we are in the modern world right now, I think there are ways we can bring in those African concepts into and mix them with our modern concepts. So like, I don't know, for example, KFC. KFC in Botswana, we have palichi and morocco with KFC chicken. So that's an aspect of still keeping the traditional and still bringing in the modern way of doing things, frying chicken, yes.
For the Kenyans viewing us this morning, they're wondering what this mogoko is.
Yeah, so morocco is basically a type of veg that is grown in Botswana. Yes, it's veg, it's vegetables.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The African cuisine competition continues. When you were just starting, the professional chefs were doing the thing. As a student, Tricia had done her thing the previous day, and we wait to really see what is going to be happening. Don't go too far. Ladies and gentlemen, the competition is definitely ongoing, as you can see right there. And I'm privileged to have one of the judges who is going to be testing the meal. I wish I was, with this kind of a role ya kutest tu chakula za watu hapo hivi and be very harsh about them. Unaambia mtu, you umeweka chumvi nyingi. Is that your role, even as you also introduce yourself?
Yes. The kitchen is burning. The kitchen is hot, as you can see. My name is Ebenezer Karuki. I'm a private chef, and most of you know me as a Arsenal chef or Real Madrid chef, and other ones I can't mention. So we started the competition on Monday. We had a set of students from all over Kenya, and this was instigated by Daktari Abbas. For me, I'm very proud to be Kenyan today because we've never seen such a thing. But it's a challenge for us because we are not in the same level. Boma is a very good school where it has all the facilities. A school from Maseno, they don't have all the things that to make them to be a good chef. But this is where the journey starts, because when we bring these children together and they work together, there's future ahead. So for me, the challenge is to the government to try and fund these children so that we can grow culinary industry, because I think it's the only industry that's not given 100%. So I'm very proud to be Kenyan today. especially for the children. I've tasted good food, and I'm going to steal the recipes. And we're talking under 23s, fire bellies, very good chefs. So please, I think I'm fat now because I've been eating a lot of food. So for me, this is the beginning. And also I give credit to Chef Lena. Chef Lena is the one that's doing African cuisine. We know Africa needs to be appreciated, especially your Kenyan food.
What speaks Kenyan food to you? What screams, the one meal that screams Kenyan food?
Ugali na nyama choma na skuma. Hatutaki mambo ingine. Na mimi mtu asiniambie ugali haina flavor. Flavor inatoka kwa mchuzi na nyama. So I'm very proud to be Kenyan because we need to enhance our food and flavors, and our students are doing it. So next year we are going to come back bigger and better.
Before even we get to next year, because I know we're really short of time with you, before we ingia hapa ndani, you test the meal, you talk about under 23s, and I was just speaking to one of the students here who tells me she's Kenyan as well as Botswana, and the conversation was many young people have seemingly forgotten about the culture, and particularly the Kenyan cuisines. And when you give them mboga ya kienyeji, they won't really take it na moyo mkunjufu. With your experience and what you've seen so far, do you think as Kenyans we are losing our cuisines with how the Gen Z and all that?
No, actually, it's the other way around. These Gen Zs, they've gone for their own flavors. Peanut butter on mashed potatoes, creating ugali with some bacon inside, and then pan-frying it to something else. So for me, I'm proud of the Gen Zs because they've done their own twist of ugali, mukimo, skuma to Michelin level, where I've never even thought. So we are in another level. Poleni sana, I'm an old school chef, and I'm really worried about my career now.
Tonight is the awarding ceremony. When I'm looking at the faces here, they're really anticipating on that. I was aware that the awarding ceremony is going to be. The mood is different. What do you expect for tonight? The fact that you're saying for this competition is one very big one. What do you expect?
I expect fairness. For me, it's all about discipline and consistent. From day 1, day 2, day 3, you have to be on the same level. So if you had a good day, day 1, good day, day 2, good day, day 3, I believe you should be a winner. You may have a good day, day 1, bad day, day 2, good day, day 3. For me, I don't think that makes sense. But it's a learning curve. And also, we have professional chefs. Mamma mia, the food's amazing. Kenya has good chefs. And we have 23, I think 24 and 25s. They're composed. Oh, the food. I'm proud to be Kenyan. Najivunia kuwa Mkenya jamani.
I want you to look at the camera in front of you and talk to upcoming chefs. Probably advise them, does this profession pay? Is it a profession that they can actually depend on?
For me, I started very low for where I came from. So it's never about the money. It's the passion. It's about the passion. Money will come. So if you think you're a chef, I cannot train you 100%. You need to do your research out there. Get your flavors and then try, practice. This is doable because people will always eat. So this is a very good career for everybody who is very interested, but not for lazy people. I start working at 3 in the morning until 11 p.m. Monday to Saturday. So I'm always running. I'm 52. I'm not young, yeah. Exactly. So it's all about running. So this career is not for lazy people. It's for hardworking people who knows what they want. And also, I will please, my Gen Zs, whoever wants to be a chef, never stay in a place for more than 3 years because you don't grow. Keep moving so that you can learn other culinary skills from other different chefs. But Kenya is talented, and I'm proud to be Kenyan.
Thank you very much, and I'm also proud to have interviewed you. I hope that one day now I'll be your co-chef, yes. And now we'll be making something. What meal will it be?
Ugali with a twist of a lot of Michelin star stuff.
You definitely understand my palate. Thank you. Yes, most definitely. Welcome to the African Cuisine competition. We are here at the Boma, and so far we've interacted with some of the participants. One from Boma, we've talked to two judges just to understand what is really happening here, and have some young people here who ukiwapea chapati wa koroge vizuri, au majamani mapro sana. And I'll let them introduce themselves. Watuambie wanafanya nini, which school they are from, and how the whole experience this competition has been for them. So I'll start with you. Naona kuna tag hapo, lakini unaweza tuambia kwa majina watu nyumbani wanakujuaje?
Yeah, so I'm Karaoke Mugai from Strathmore University. I'm studying hospitality, a bachelor in hospitality and hotel management. Okay. Yes.
So how about you?
My name is Sharon Chalagat, a student from BIHC, doing diploma in culinary arts.
So we have Strathmore, BIHC.
Hi, my name is Walter Njuguna from IHTI. I'm doing culinary arts, higher national diploma. Yeah.
Kwa course zote, for the three of you, why cooking? I'll start with you, Karuki.
Well, this is a question I get asked a lot, but I think the simple definition is I enjoy good food. I enjoy actually the process of actually from start to finish, actually starting with the ingredients, the way you use different techniques to actually produce different products. I think that's the thing that ignited my passion to actually produce food and also continue working with amazing professionals in this industry.
Right. When you're like young, it's a passion that came in as you're growing up?
No, actually started when I was young. I used to actually work with my mother a lot in the kitchen, helping her. And then it went now in high school where my mother started trusting me with actual dishes in the school. I mean in our own kitchen. And then after that, when I finished my high school, now this is when I decided that this is something I want to pursue, and I was actually sure of it 100%, and so far it's been great and I've never looked back.
Sharon, is it the same for you? Ama ilifika mahali katikati and you're like, cooking is just the option that I have here?
You know, for me, they say do what you love doing. So I've been cooking with my grandmother since I was in high school. So I love cooking.
What were you cooking with grandma?
Grandmother, mostly she'll be like, you love eating chapati and you don't know how to cook chapati. So she'll be like, today you're going to cook chapati for us.
How old were you then?
I think I was around 16. I'm not that old, yeah. So, and I also believe that cooking brings a lot of people together because, you know, Africans, they love food. Yeah, food brings people together. And then if you cook food from different cultures, people get to eat them. They feel nice, they enjoy, and everyone is happy through food. So all I do is learn how to make different dishes in order to bring people together and make people love African food. So if they hear the word African, they're just happy and put smiles on their faces.
Walter, ni passion ama ni stories za kutafuta hustle?
Passion.
Uko sure? Kama ni hustle, unaweza niambia kwa masikio tu ni whether ni hustle.
Actually, I started off with engineering before I did culinary arts.
What type of engineering?
Building technology. Yeah. So I love how I'm able to transform someone's day through the dish that I present. I love how I can create the process of changing someone's day. Yeah. So I decided to focus on culinary arts, and now I'm here. And I'm grateful. Yeah.
So when you your transition from engineering now to culinary, people around you, your close family, friends, what were they telling you? Were they like, hapana manze, unaacha engineering, unaingia kitchen?
Yeah, I faced those questions a few times, but I really have passion for the kitchen, and I showed it to them. I wasn't resilient. I told them I'm not trying to be sijaribu kuwa kichwa ngumu. Yeah, I just want to try and follow my dreams and make it. Yeah.
I love the fact that the three of you, it's passion driven. From when you're young and you're like, this is really, really what I want. Now, whatever is happening for this whole, and has been happening this whole week, the whole inaugural cooking competition, I'd really want to know from you guys how it has been. Were you shortlisted? Because I know, for individually from different schools, class nayo inaweza kuwa kubwa. Was everyone in class, did they make it to this competition? Were you shortlisted, Karuki?
So from my school, actually, I was shortlisted. These people from my school who have this passion, but I think now the shortlisting actually tries to identify the best of the best, you know. So as you see us in this competition, I am confident enough to say that each and every student from each competition is actually the best of the best. And you know, as we say, iron sharpens iron. So it's been great working with the best of the best, because I also believe I want to be the best. And yes, that's it. Yes.
This whole the whole bit of iron sharpens iron, you were used to people in your school and how they do things, what your tutors tell you, and then now you come here, you meet people from different schools and they have different ideologies about how cuisine should be. What have you learned so far in this whole inaugural competition?
Actually, I've learned a lot. I've been to other competitions, but not competition like this. I've met so many people in the kitchen competing with me. They have challenged me with my speed and the time and whatever they are producing. Yeah, they don't know, but for me, I'm grabbing something from them. I don't know if they are doing the same, but I'm that person who appreciates everyone and their work. So yeah, I might think I'm the best, but I might not be the best. And we're just here to learn. So if I see you're doing something good, I'll come back to you and, ask you and also steal some ideas from you, because I'm also learning through this competition. Yeah.
Walter, will you prepare for this competition? How was the whole preps? Because I'm pretty sure you guys were given a heads up of this is coming and you're going to be participating. So how was the whole prep for it?
First of all, a few of my classes were excused, but they said they'll find a way of recovering them, so that every day from last week Friday, because we had like 1 week to prepare, we'd come in the morning, do setup for a table, watch YouTube videos, do napkin folds. It was quite an interesting journey, and I'm grateful. Yeah.
So now for the big day, which was Thursday evening. Yes. Even before this competition started, ulikuwa na butterflies?
Yeah, butterflies will always be there. Actually, I think if you don't experience butterflies, you're not prepared enough. Butterflies actually is not meant to scare you. It's not meant to put fear in you. It's actually yourself pushing yourself to be the best. As I said, you're competing with the best of the best. So having some anxiety, some like that, you also learn to manage that. It's not about cooking, it's not about production. You also have to grow holistically. How is your mindset when you go into this competition? Are you anxious? Do you still believe you're the best? Each and every day when you come out from the kitchen, do you still go back, look at what went right, what went wrong, and try to improve and come out better the next day? So butterflies will always be there, but it's how you perceive it and your interpretation that will determine your success moving forward.
Sharon, butterflies?
Yeah. Actually, that night I did not sleep. I was just thinking. Okay, because for me, I'm used to competing with my fellow students in class. So I know what they can do and I know what I can do. But for these other competitors, I've never met them. I've never seen them. I don't know their capabilities. So I was like, I have butterflies. I did not sleep. Yeah.
So what did you guys cook the same meal? Everyone had the individual. Tell us about that.
Actually, I was in more of service. I did the service competition. Zanita from IHTI was representing the culinary. Yeah.
How was it comparing to what you see in school and what you saw here? How's the experience during that whole competition?
It was exciting. It was tensing because we're competing. Everyone I was with have a really unique skill. You're seeing everybody is really good at what they're doing. So you're tensed. You're not just competing with anybody. You're competing with the best of the best. So it was, like you said, iron sharpens iron. It was really exciting. Yeah.
So that means now for Sharon as well as, so for both of you, you are now in the culinary competition, right? So were you cooking the same meal?
We had the same criteria of what is expected of us. For Tuesday, we had to produce a vegetarian dish of your choice. For Thursday and Friday, it was kind of strict. We were limited to some of the items we had to use. For example, on Thursday we were doing non-vegetarian, and you had to work with fish. You had to work with a smoked liquid. For Friday, which was the last day, we were working on desserts and confectionery, and you had to produce a sponge, a mousse, a garnish, and what else were you producing?
They were specific ingredients you're supposed to use, like coffee. It was a must to use coffee. It was a must to use chocolate. There were some fruits there. Yeah, you are supposed to use them. Yeah.
So when you take a look at all this, what's okay for you, even out of the whole competition, what screams African cuisine? Ni food gani ukiona you're like, now yes, this is Kenyan food and I'd want to try it anywhere, any place?
Okay, for me, if I can echo the words of Sharon, she said food brings people together, and that's the whole aspect of African cuisine. If you look back during the times our grandfathers, our grandmothers were growing up, food was actually a means of bringing people together. It was a means, whether it's a sad moment, whether it's a happy moment, food brings people together. And that's one aspect that African cuisine needs to capture. That, as we see here right now, even as today is the closing ceremony, people from different parts of the country are coming together. So for the cuisine aspect, I highly advocate we start appreciating our produce, the ingredients that we have, because they are very unique. We can put a lot of innovation, a lot of creativity behind some of the dishes that we make, behind some of the service aspects that we make. So bringing people together, appreciating what we have here in Africa is what I think constitutes great African cuisine.
So now to answer what I'd asked you, what meal for you screams Kenyan meal? Ni food gani unazatakanga kukula every now and then because you just love it?
For me, basically, it would be chapati. Because chapati actually is loved around the world. If you go, once these Mzungus come to our country and then they have a taste of chapati, they never go back. So for me, it's chapati.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fact that we're having pros here wenye wanajua kutengeneza chapo, I want to get the sentiments. Nataka kupata hacks on how to cook chapo. Ndio kituo leo asubuhi, ukiambia mpo wako kuja unipikie chapo na unamwambia this is how you should make your chapo. So Sharon, tuambie. Ama nianze na karaoke. Ladies first. Okay, sawa. Sharon, the hacks za kutengeneza chapo. First of all, what are those things that people do when they're making chapo that you're like, nah, you shouldn't be doing that?
The way they roll it, this how do you explain? Kuna venye unafaa kuziroll, ndo when you're rolling it, they give you those layers of chapo you get. So most people utapata aneka unga kwa mkono and then anafinya hivi, anatoea juu, aneka kwa unga and then
Ufai kufanya hivyo?
No, if you want to get nice chapatis, you're supposed to roll them, apply some oil, kunja vizuri and then roll it so that when you're cooking you get some really nice layers of chapati.
Walto niambie chapo is your go-to. Ukue wapi ukue, you're like, no, just bring me chapo. How do you now make, unajua kupika chapo vizuri, si ndio?
Najua kupika chapo.
I mean the same question. Ni nini watu do wakipika chapo and you're like, nah, that's hapana, haifai kufanya hivyo?
I feel like if you use cold water, you should be expecting some really chewy and hard chapatis. Yeah. Also, I rub in butter into my flour.
Wanaelewana hapo hivi. Unasemanga wakoreano wanajuana kwa kilamba. How about you, karaoke? Okay. So I'm making chapo, tumeanza hypothetically, ndio hata viewer anaelewa vizuri. Ni nini sifai kukosa kabisa in that whole setup here? I'm making chapos.
Okay, yeah. So for me, the way I would answer this question, I would refer to the best chapati I've ever eaten. That's from Coast. I'm telling you, Coast people have hacked the process of making chapati. And I found that they actually use ghee ghee, which is a product we don't actually use that much, So I think if people understand what ghee is, that could make a very big difference. I don't want to give people like so many things to do, but I can tell you, start using ghee, it will make a whole huge difference in the way your chapati tastes.
There's someone watching you this morning and they're wondering, what is ghee? Unaweza tuelezea kwa ile lugha ya mtaa vizuri ndio elewe what is ghee? And again, function yake ni wapi? Where do I use it?
Okay. So ghee is actually a product derived from dairy. So the milk is actually processed in a way that actually produces fat, the way we have butter and then now it's solidified. Ghee is more of the same, but it actually has slightly more water content and slightly fat content. That's what I would say. But it also has a nice, can I say, aroma or flavor? Yeah, taste.
The flavor. Yeah.
The flavor is really unique. I don't think people have experienced ghee. People know butter, people know blue band. I know people know blue band, people know margarine. But that's one thing I would urge us as Kenyans we try and work with. Also, cooking is not about being perfect. The first time you use it, maybe things will not go well, but as you use it, you'll get to understand it more. You'll use it even not just for chapati. You might want to use it for your rice, for your curries. So that's basically what ghee is.
And speaking of hacks, something that I love asking chefs on Tasty Wednesday, our morning show, is what is the one thing that you never miss on your kitchen kind of a setup? In case you're cooking for yourself, family, friends, or a whole number of people. The one thing that huwezi hata. I'll start with you, Sharon.
Chef's knives.
Sorry?
A chef knife.
Chef knife.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that is something that I'll need to prepare my onions, my garlic, like literally everything. I'll need that knife to make my mise en place so that cooking can continue. Because without my chef knife, I can't.
My knives. Just.
Display hapo vizuri. How about you, Karuki?
For me, it's also the knife. The knife is so versatile. You can do so many things with a knife. You can cut things, different types of hardness of the things you're working with. You don't need a pillar. You don't need knife is so you can do so many things with it, and it has to be sharp. Don't work with blunt knives. You're going to injure yourself. Yes.
Ladies, gentlemen, najua nimeweka kwa ijua hapo hivi, but then the fact that the three of you are fairly young chefs, and hopefully one day nitakuja tupike na nyinyi individually ama mkiwa wote watatu hivi. I'd really be honored to do that. But then there's so many young people out here who, one, they say, hey, manzi nimetafuta job, mi sina. Ama mtu asema, I love cooking, really. I know how to cook, but how can I get into this? So this camera in front of you, or rather, yes, ile pale, mezangalia pale and really advise these young people watching you this morning and tell them, hii profession ya kupika, is it worth it? I'll start with Karuki.
The culinary industry is one of the best industries you can ever get into. So if you're a young person and you actually want to join this industry, you want to start, the first thing I would say is don't overthink it. Get someone you know who is in this industry. One thing people don't realize with this industry, the big players, the managers, they all started humbly, humble beginnings. Someone started as a steward. So it doesn't matter where you will start, whether you go to school. Even most of them never went to school. So in this industry, you can just join, learn, as long as you have that character where you are disciplined, where you want to know, where you're always working hard to develop yourself. I'm sure you'll actually enjoy it and you'll scale the heights of greatness.
Beautiful. How about you, Sharon?
For me, someone who is out there, I can say that if you really have passion for culinary, like it's not a must you go to school, you can just start by, it starts like a business actually. You see, someone like me, I started by making burgers and sell them to my friends, you see, because it's something that I love, it's something that is in me. You can also go to the internet these days, see something and then try it. That's how you learn. It's not a must for you to go to school, or you have friends, you have families, you can cook for them and they'll be like, wow, this is so nice. And that's how you get encouraged. Like, it's not a must for you to go to school, but if you can, please go. Yeah.
For me, I'd say God. I put God first. I can honestly say that he brought me where I was, and passion. If you have the passion for it, there's no way you can't. The sky is the limit for you. Yeah.
What do you expect for tonight's awarding ceremony?
Great things. We all did our best. Whoever wins, I'm really happy for them. Yeah.
How about you, Sharon?
Yeah, like you said, whoever wins, I'll be happy for them, but I expect it to be me because I know I did my best.
Karaoke?
Yes, anyone can win. I'm so happy for everyone I've been able to meet. For me, I actually feel like I've won because I've learned so much. I've developed myself. So for me, it's not about the prize. It's not about whatever you'll get. That's also good. But if you came here, you didn't learn anything, you didn't push yourself, you didn't challenge yourself, I think that's the real loss. But for winning, as long as you learned, you developed yourself, you networked with people, you got different perspectives, you've already won. Yes.
Thank you very much Karaoke, thank you very much Sharon, thank you very much Walter. Najua nimewasimamisha hapa hivi kwa jua, lakini mmezoea kusimama kwa kitchen for hours. Thank you very much. We are still, trying to understand the cooking competition. As you can see, welcome to the African Cuisine competition. It's the inaugural one, so definitely, even for the students, it's a very, very big deal. And even as they anticipate for the awarding ceremony, wacha tucheki some sights and sounds for you, so that you angalie how upishi inaendelea, and then we'll be back.
For 5 days, we've actually had over 18 hotel schools from both universities and colleges, as well as 10 top hotel brands, including one from Ethiopia and 9 from Kenya. And basically, we're trying to showcase what African cuisine can look like. There's what you know as traditional ugali, and ugali doesn't have to be boring, but we want to build Kenya and Africa as a culinary destination. And so we looked at the continent and we thought, like Ghana and Nigeria have jollof wars, and they are proud of their culture and their food. Can we take premium culinary experiences and transform what we know culinary experiences to be in Kenya, so that when you're going out to eat, it's not just Italian, it's not just French food, but can African cuisine be something that you actually look out for?
As someone who has seen different cuisines right here in this particular competition, I mean, as you're saying, we from Kenya, tumezoea ugali, nyama choma, but then when you hear jollof, I mean, it's for most Kenyans who are watching us, it's something foreign for them. And in different hotels, different restaurants around the capital, around the country, they're also starting to have that as well. Would you want to see more of this as well? Also, I mean, for you, what is that one cuisine that is not in Kenya that you really want to try out?
Great. I think there's a challenge to both industry, and that's why we actually got the hotels to compete. Because we said, look, some of the best restaurants in this country are synonymous with foreign cuisine, whether it's French, Italian, or fusion, where they blend 2 or 3 more cuisines together to create something exciting. But we think that there's a way we can elevate African cuisine and introduce it in our menus and create a culture that promotes appreciation for both ingredients that are synonymous to us, but also improves the value chain from farm to table. And I think that's something actually realistic. And we've seen, having 10 hotel brands volunteer to actually be part of this experience is no mean feat. It means that the industry is open to the idea, they see the value in it, they're willing to come in on board and show us what could be possible. And bringing both students and industry also to just create that platform for mentorship, I think is an exciting opportunity. I think in terms of cuisine that I don't see here, I think I've tried pretty much a lot of cuisine. Working here is an amazing experience in itself. But I see a lot of great fusion from Asian and South American culture. If you go to, Asia, whether it's Indian food or whether it's Chinese or Japanese with sushi, there's so much we can merge with African cuisine and also fuse to create something totally exceptional, totally new, and it just provides a really great experience on the table. Yeah.
I know when guys are watching this, they're going to be asking the fact that this is the inaugural one. When is the second one happening? When can they also be part of this as well? Because, I mean, here you mentioned, I mean, for you guys, for Boma, I mean, it's an established kind of a school for culinary, hospitality, but then there are other schools that are also coming up. Can they also be part of this? Can someone who is uko Kakamega uko ndani, can they also be part of this? And at the end of the day, still learn this whole art of culinary?
True. So first of all, this year, like I mentioned, we are hosting 18 schools. We have schools from as far as Eldoret to Sigalagala to down at Kenyan Coast Polytechnic, both private and public institutions and national polytechnics. However, as we move into next year, we're trying to build a Pan-African competition. So we're saying, look, let's have a country-based competitions in different nations and have the winners come back to Kenya and represent their home nations. So our dream over the next 2 to 5 years is to grow this into a Pan-African space where whether it's Ethiopia or South Africa or Nigeria or Ghana or Egypt, they can come in and say, look, let us show you what we can do collaboratively. In the long run, I think we want to have this competition every year. As you might know, October 20th, which is this coming Sunday, is World Chefs Day. And just to celebrate World Chefs Day, every year, the week before October 20th, we will actually be hosting this competition. We will announce this on our social media platforms on our website. Normally, openings for registration will start from July 2025 for the second edition. And anyone, any school, any hotel that's willing to participate, we actually welcome them to be part of the program, get to understand what the concept is, but also benefit from additional services that we're offering as part of the competition.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, even as we continue, just seeing how the sights and sounds and kind of mood is like, even as people here in this particular place wait for their wedding ceremony. It's definitely a very anxious moment, and I don't know from the service manager how anxious he is, how his people, how venye amewafunza kama wamedeliver as possible. You could start with your introduction and tell us who you are, and for you, for this inaugural competition, how has it been for you?
So my name is Alois. I'm the Food and Beverage Service Manager, and I've actually been in the center of this competition from ideation to actually making it happen. And like you've mentioned, I also have a competitor in this very competition as a student. And clearly, as you can see, I'm also nervous just to wait who's going to be the final person. I've also been a judge in the industry, in the hotel sector for the wines, and may the best person win.
We're looking at you judging here, holding the is it a notebook or all those papers and just
the mark sheet, yeah.
Yes, and just ticking who is doing what. What exactly were you checking out when it comes to how the service delivery is being done, how the gentlemen and the ladies were doing the whole wine kind of thing? What exactly was were you judging?
So there's a test project that actually has a marking criteria. And the marking criteria actually just described what we're supposed to mark. For example, today the hotels are opening a sparkling wine, and what we're looking at is how best then the waiter is able to describe the wine to the guests, identify their host, describe the wine, tell the guest what the wine is in terms of the vintage, the grape, and any other aspect of that wine, and then opening the wine professionally without popping it. So everyone is used to popping wine, pop. But then professionally in a fine dining setup, it's not supposed to pop. It's supposed to have a hissing sound. So those are some of the things we were checking. The other aspect was on blind testing. So we had 4 wines that the competitors were supposed to taste, and they had a mark sheet with descriptors and say that wine A is actually this wine. It has these descriptors. Wine B has these descriptors, like that, and even tell which grape that wine is from. So it's actually a blind testing thing. And even for me as a judge, I've been in blind testing competitions, and guys, it's not easy. I mean, unless you know these things, it's never easy, yeah.
The fact that today had a whole mixed match of young people, 23, 24, younger than that, mixed up with guys who've been in the profession, people like you really, the kind of experience they've learned. For you, when you look at these young people getting into this profession, both culinary as well as service management, what would be your sentiments on that?
I'll just narrow it down and say it's community over competition. So this whole competition is not about who's going to win, no. But the whole idea of having everyone here, the whole industry in terms of the schools, the hotels and other stakeholders is what we want. Because then what we are saying is, why can't we have our African way of doing things, standardize it, and sell it out to the world, okay? So all of us are always talking about other cuisines, other beverages, and all other things. Remember, Kenya is the best exporter of hospitality services, all right? But we're saying, why can't we tag along our cuisine, our culture? And like you've said, the senior ones like myself and those ones above me, it's our duty to actually just make sure we also pull up the young ones from, and like you notice, the competition is both for schools and industry. So I have students, like you can see behind me, seeing what the industry is doing on the ground. They don't have to go to Movenpick or Kempinski or mention the brand. We've got about 10 brands here. They don't have to go there. The brand's actually here with them. So they're actually learning firsthand.
And a whole bit of networking. Finally, again, I mean, even for these young learners who were able to make it here, and those watching us back at home, someone is as a chef, or they're upcoming, they want to get into the hospitality industry. But then they're wondering, I mean, at the end of the day, will it be worth it? Will I get that connection from school, getting into industry real fast, or will I have to tarmac for long?
Guys, I mean, I started as a glass hand at the Tamarind, at the Carnival, in the year just after my Form 4. And I've never had a godfather. I've always done it, and it's about passion. Passion is what has driven me. My managers then saw what I could do. They trained me, and here I am. I've worked in the industry. I'm now a lecturer. I'm a judge, and yeah, I'm flying up. And even for them, equally, like you can see, yes, they're young, I agree, but they will grow as long as they have passion and commitment. Our classes here at BHC start at by 7 sharp. If you came to this compound, you'll think there's no one, but there's everyone in the classrooms. So we start at 7 sharp and end at 7. And that's a culture we want to push, not really for working in terms of long hours, which the Gen Zs don't like, but in terms of commitment, passion, discipline. Of course, the rest, like integrity and honesty, will come in later. Yes.
Lois, thank you very much for your time. I don't know, again, I've been asking this, all participants, all judges, what they're anticipating for the awarding ceremony. What are you anticipating?
Of course, for me, I anticipate for my competitors to win. That is the first thing. And as a judge, I just expect to see energy in the whole awarding ceremony. That's what I expect, yeah.
Tupatane awarding ceremony. Asante sana, Lois. Thank you very much.
Good. Asante sana.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, listen to that. The whole clinking of glasses, the whole ambience right here. This is at the Boma International Hospitality College, where the inaugural African cuisine competition has been happening. Students, professionals have been competing, and as you have seen from the whole awarding ceremony, imekuwa legit tena sana. This is Tasty Wednesday right here on Morning Cafe, hotter than your coffee. Tutakuwa tuna make sure right here Tasty Wednesday you get to learn some new culinary skills as we give you some new chefs. I'm yours truly, Stanley Nyaringita. Till next time, goodbye.